that it's 56 meters.
56 meters. The 2 seconds that you've gone past at 100 kilometers per hour is actually a distance of 56 meters between you and the next car.
Absolutely. But so we asked people.
But then that's not tailgating yet. Is that tailgating?
No. This is the proper distance.
Okay, so first of all, I want to say, what is tailgating?
Get there.
All right,
horses.
We're taking a long way. We're taking a long way tonight.
So we asked people, so what do you think is the right distance?
Yeah.
You know what people said? The majority? 1 car length.
1 car length.
So how long is a car? How long is a car?
This is an official survey, right?
Yeah.
Survey.
Yeah,
You got
yes.
more than
Okay.
1,000 UA.
I would like to hear this.
How long is a car?
How long is a car?
5 meters. This guy says 3 meters. He says 5 meters.
I mean, it's less than 56 meters, right?
Yeah, it's way less than 56 meters. Yeah.
And this is tailgating.
Yeah. That's quite scary.
Yeah. And it's a lot of us. We think, 1 car length, a 2 car length.
Yeah.
It's the proper distance. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. And why not? Why? Question back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So why is tailgating so dangerous? You tell me, Jazat.
Go on, try it again.
Why is tailgating dangerous? Why is it dangerous to only be 1 car length?
But first of all, I still want to define. Okay, I want to define what is a tailgater. How do you tailgate? What is a tailgater? Can somebody out there tell me what is a tailgater? Who has experienced tailgating? Apart from Impishan. Who else has experienced tailgating? Okay, I'm just going to ask this gentleman here because he's the only one that's volunteered. What is tailgating?
Getting too close to the car in front of you, which would won't leave a kind of a safe distance. So you won't get enough time to respond for the car in the rear, and you might end up dashing the car in front.
Yeah, but it's a good thing though, isn't it? Because if you're tailgating, you're really close to the guy in front, which means you're scaring him, and he's going to move out of your way, right? So actually, we should be tailgating, right, Mustafa? It's a good thing, right?
What is a tailgate? I mean, I thought only pickups had tailgates.
Oh, now you're getting really finicky, Mustafa.
Just explain, it's the rear of the car in front again.
The rear of the car, alright, fine. But it's a good thing tailgating.
Clearly not, unless you want to write your car off.
Unless you want to write your car off. Why is it not a good thing?
Well, like Thomas said, most humans are limited in their mental capacity. You can deal well with walking up to a speed of about 6-7 kilometers an hour. Once you go any faster than 6 or 7 kilometers an hour, the human mind, the human body isn't really designed to react very well to speeds above that. So when you go at 100 kilometers an hour, you're really relying on something else to keep you safe. If you can't, if you don't make those allowances for your senses to keep you safe.
Can I ask you another question? Is tailgating legal? Is it allowed?
Clearly not.
No. What is the actual rule regarding that?
I've not read up on the latest because we've just had a reissue of the traffic laws and list of fines, so I'm not sure what the latest are, but there's definitely a specific item on the list of fines that addresses tailgating.
So, Thomas, now we've defined tailgating. I think we've defined it, right? So, and now you were telling us about the actual distances involved. So now start to elaborate a little bit more about that.
Okay. The danger of tailgating is that we want to brake in time, not to smash in the vehicle in front of us, right? So if there is danger in front of us, what is happening? First of all, our brain starts to work. And the brain says danger. But the brain needs a little bit of time to digest that. And then the brain talks to the foot. And the brain tells the foot basically, A, move from the accelerator over to the brake pedal. This also takes time. And then the brain tells the muscle, and now start braking. So all of that, in a good condition, takes how long? I guess.
Half a second?
Half a second?
What do you reckon? How quick are your reactions? So gentlemen walking past, people walking past, we're talking about how to be a better tailgater. Ostensibly we're talking about how to be a better driver on our road. So come in, have a sit down and listen to the discussion with two experts. And we were talking about what your reaction times are. What do you reckon? Hands up for what? 5 seconds? No? More than 5 seconds? Half a minute? Wow. Half a second.
Half a second, yeah.
Half a second. What do you reckon?
I think half a second is perfect. But it's more about, under normal good circumstances, it's about 1 second.
1 second.
Add to that they're just leaving office, we're a little bit fatigued, we're a little bit not concentrated. And so out of this 1 second, it can easily be 1.5 seconds. And this is exactly the reason why we say we have to have a safety distance of 2 seconds. Just to have a little bit of a buffer. And again, we did not even start braking yet. So it's only between recognizing danger and getting ready to brake. This is about a second, or maybe slightly more. And only then we're starting to apply pressure, and then the vehicle even starts braking.
This is assuming that we have no distractions inside or outside the car. No mobile phones, no active devices, no phone calls, no messages, no social media.
Social media now, okay. So actually, you know what? I want to move on from tailgating now, okay? Because tailgating is the headline here. But what we're really talking about is trying to be safe on our roads.
No. We're not going. No. Hold your horses. What are you doing?
Oh, you're not done yet?
No. We're not done yet. We're not done yet.
I'm handing the show over to Thomas now.
No. We at Road Safety UAE, we're doing a lot of research to understand.
RoadSafetyUAE.com. Check them out. They're doing a lot of amazing work.
A lot of things, and actually just to get this a little bit going here, this gentleman knows Dubai Police quite well. We are working a lot in Dubai Police. There's the first prize of tonight. It's a very mysterious device from Dubai Police. I will not tell you what it is, but it's up for grabs now. It comes in this little thing in addition.
What is that? What was it?
It's a very, very secretive device.
Right.
I will only tell the winner in the year.
Alright.
And the thing is actually, we also wanted to build up to something, and this is just like this feeling that we have of reckless drivers around us. So we don't want to be bothered by reckless drivers, right? So we asked people in terms of tailgating, so we asked them, so does tailgating bother you? Are you getting distracted? Are you getting nervous? So the question is the following. Out of 100% of people, what is the percentage of people that say, you know what, I couldn't care less. Tailgating does not bother me. What is the percentage of people who says, you know, couldn't care less, tailgating doesn't bother me? The price again is the mysterious device from Dubai Police.
Okay, we have a prize. We have a prize on offer, and the question is, what was the question again?
Out of 100% of people, out of 100 people, you can ask them, you know, tailgating, okay, tailgating bothers us. Out of 100 people, how many people say, but you know what, tailgating doesn't bother me at all.
Okay, so
it does not bother me.
So how many people out of 100 don't care about tailgating? And everybody walking behind, we have a prize, we're giving away a prize, which I didn't know about, but we're now giving away a prize. So come and have a sit down, and the question is, how many people out of 100 don't care about tailgating? Who can give me an answer? There's gentlemen up here, yeah.
20%.
20%. Any others over here? 20%, 70%. Wow. Any more? Who else? You want to have a go? 10%. 60%. Okay, you're just throwing numbers now. Anyone else? Yeah, over here.
25.
25%.
I think the gentleman in the red Chevrolet t-shirt, he has a good answer.
Who? Which one? Where?
At the back.
Yeah.
30%.
30%?
We're still not there, guys.
No, keep going. 1%. 1%?
More.
50%?
50%?
Less.
40%?
40%? Less. Down,
Less.
lower.
5%?
5%. 25. How are we doing?
It's lower than that.
I feel like Bruce Forsyth.
This lady was very close. This lady was very close.
9%?
Yay!
9%.
We have a winner, that's fantastic.
Oh, come up then, come up.
Guys,
Come up.
but the thing is the following. If only 9% are saying, you know, I don't care about tailgating, this means how many people do care about tailgating? 100 minus 9 is?
I don't know, my maths are terrible.
91% of us are actually bothered by tailgaters.
91%,
So we're getting nervous, we're getting irritated, we are making mistakes, we're getting distracted and so on. So only 9% of us do not care about getting
Well,
tailgated.
I've got the
91% do.
I've got the answer. You just take the mirror off and check it in the back seat, then you put them out. You can't see them, right?
Okay, so this is the very mysterious device of Dubai Police. It gives you special powers.
Whoa!
Or an actual special power, and I will tell you in your ear what it is.
What is your name?
Sisa.
Asisa. And where are you from?
I'm from India.
And how are you enjoying the show?
Yeah, not bad. Actually, I've just come with my husband and son. Just tailgating them.
Very good. Very good. Round of applause for that. That was very good. Thomas, please do the honors.
Before you get the prize, so did you ever experience tailgating? Not much. Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. This is for you. And
All right, just give her a prize. Don't get a phone number. What are you doing?
no, I
She just said she's here with her husband. Come on.
Alrighty. There's actually more to come. Yeah? So
Okay.
stay tuned, there's more to come.
Okay, so there we go. So 91% of people are worried about tailgating. What should they do about it? Let's talk to Mustafa.
I mean, the whole point of driving is to save you time. You could walk everywhere, it'd be very, very safe, but it will take you very, very
I don't know,
long
you know, sometimes walking, you know, like walking along and there's no grain cover. I fell into it once. That wasn't very safe.
I know, it's interesting, but driving generally saves you time if traffic is moving. So if you're driving and you want to get to your destination, then it's much better to take all the precautions. I mean, you don't set off without fuel in your car, you don't set off without tires or air in your tires. So to me, I mean, thinking from a system perspective, leaving a safe distance is just one of the basic things you need to get to your
It's
destination.
just one part of it, yeah. Okay, but hang on. Now you just said 91% of people get anxious when they see a tailgater, right? Me, I just laugh and I just find a way of getting out of their way at the next opportunity. But for example, one time I was in a high-sided vehicle, I was in a pickup truck, and it's only when I looked into my side mirrors that I saw that there was a car behind me, because he was so close to me that I couldn't actually see him. So it's like it was a bit pointless tailgating me at that point, because I can't actually see you, you know? So what is your advice, first of all, Thomas and then Mustafa, what is your advice if you are in that situation and somebody is driving very close, very aggressively to you? Because, you know, some people do things like brake testing, and I'll allow you to explain what brake testing actually means. What is your advice, first Thomas and then Mustafa?
Well, our advice is clearly just look after your own safety and after the safety of your passengers and after the safety of everybody around. So there's only one solution really. If somebody comes from behind, is aggressive and tailgates you, just get out of the way. Just as soon as you can safely move over, just move over and let this guy, whatever he or she is going to do.
Mustafa, what is brake testing?
Let me just add to that. I'd say first, don't panic.
Don't panic.
Try and stay
Don't
calm.
panic. Don't panic. That's a good thing.
If they're crazy enough, if they're in enough of a hurry, they're going to overtake you on the shoulder anyway. So it doesn't matter what you do.
Isn't that even scarier? Because I've had that when they've suddenly gone around into the hard shoulder.
I know, but you've got to keep checking your mirrors, check everything. You know, be aware of your surroundings, and in addition to that, try and make sure you leave a safe distance to the car in front of you. Because it just so happens that so many times, while someone's being distracted by looking into who's behind him,
Yeah.
traffic in front of you stops.
That's a very, very good point.
And what do you do then?
Yeah, that's a very good. So don't be intimidated to the point that you're focused only on the person behind. You still need to be aware of what's going on around you.
And don't be then pushed into tailgating the person in front of you,
Yeah.
so it becomes a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
So try and get away, obviously, when it's safe to do so, but again, in your own pace, make sure you don't panic, and make sure you are still keeping a safe distance.
And who out there has had experience of tailgating? Oh my goodness. Who has an experience they want to talk about this? You want to talk about?
I actually want to talk about the other side of tailgating. That would mean that if say on the Sheikh Mohammed Zayed Road, the speed limit is 110, and there are drivers who are driving in the first lane at 100 and not just getting out of the way. So what happens, you automatically create a queue behind you, and that's irritating. Okay, so this is one point that if the drivers are not driving on the top speed, they should stay out of the first lane. That avoids these unnecessary issues that come up, you know, which you call it tailgating.
What is your answer to that?
No, this is exactly what we researched. So we asked people, so when you tailgate, so why do you tailgate? And this is of course number one reason. So people say, you know, there's a slow vehicle in front of me, and then people tailgate. It's wrong, we know that, but we also want to understand why people misbehave, because we have to attack that. So it is, if there is a slow vehicle in front, then people tailgate. But what do you guess is the second reason why do people tailgate?
Because they're late.
Yeah, cheating. What is this? No prize for you. But it's true. So people,
Where's mine? I want my prize. I want my mysterious box. No.
So people are running late, and then they are getting reckless on the road. So this is completely wrong.
I actually do tailgating sometimes because the driver in front of me is so stupid and slow that he's taking the fast lane and he's sleeping on that side.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to be a little bit controversial and say that I do not feel that it is appropriate or right in any way, shape or form to start tailgating. Everybody has been in the position where there is a slower vehicle ahead of you. Sometimes you have to think, you just have to stop and think, okay, they clearly are not in the right, but we're definitely not in the right to then start tailgating. Patience and respect is one of the biggest things we promote, you know, as being part of this community, and I think at that point we need to think about respect and our community.
Okay, you two don't fight, yeah? What do you reckon, Thomas?
Now this is really going very close to our heart, what Alex just said, because it is really about etiquette, it's about behavior, it's about manners, and it's about a caring attitude. So it is about, we have to look after our own safety, after the safety of the passengers, and after the safety of everybody around. And we can only do that when we are showing the right road etiquette. It's about politeness, it's about patience, Alex just said, yeah. So it's not up to us to start bullying others.
Yeah.
This is just not part of life.
So, I just want to talk about when it goes to
So can I just add that again, according to the rules of the road, tailgating is an offense, but also not moving over when someone behind you wants to overtake, if you can, is also an offense. So they're both offenses. FYI.
So the other side of it is also an offense. Okay.
I think, I think this is absolutely right. It is about that all of us, we have to take stock, and all of us, we have to reflect, and we have to show manners. It is not nice to block somebody. It's not nice to invade the space of somebody.
Okay, they're getting very cozy on the stage. We got people fighting each other in the audience. We got people cozying up on the stage. It's all getting very dramatic tonight. I'll tell you that much. I want to talk about the consequences of tailgating, right? Because what happens when it all goes wrong? How many people here have had accidents in Dubai? Wow, we've got a few. We've got a couple. How many have been really terrified in that situation? Did they get really close? Even if Dishan's got his hand up over here. What are the consequences of something going wrong at that sort of speed?
Let me just ask the audience a question here. So if you think about the causes of death on our roads, so what leads to death? Tailgating is one of them. So people are tailgating. This results in accidents, in injuries, and in fatalities. So what do you think is the number when you rank it? So tailgating is ranked on which number when it comes to the top 10 killers on the road?
Okay, give us some options. Give us some options.
Is it I don't know, is it the main killer? Is it the killer number 4, the killer number 3, the killer number 7? What do you guys think? Is it
are they going to win anything for this? Or?
No, not this time. The question is this something dangerous, not dangerous? Is it up there? Whatever.
I'd say top 5 for sure.
Top 5 is correct, yes?
Well, that's not enough. You win nothing.
No. But top 5, but?
So top 3. Serena is saying top.
I think it's in the top 3.
It's in the top 3. That's correct.
Okay, we can go further. Anyone else? Over here.
That's number 1 watch.
Number 1, he says.
It It is not number 1.
Ah, okay, so it's got to be number 2 then. Come on.
It's also not number 2. It is number 3.
Number 3. You're right. There you go.
And so it's really true and it's very important. So it is not something that we can laugh about. It is the number 2 killer on our road. So it's very
we're just all applauding and I laugh about it. But on all seriousness, though, we've got to get serious about this stuff. What's the cost to society, of road accidents, of people dying on, we've increased speed, the speed cameras, we've reduced the limits because we've worked out obviously the cost to society of things going wrong.
So if you look at accident costs per fatality, again, every fatality costs society somewhere around 6 million dirhams. So,
whoa, say that again.
Every fatal accident costs society overall about 6 million dirhams. So
I just want to let that sink in. Every road fatality costs society 6 million dirhams. Just explain that for us.
Just to add to that, we're talking as a percentage of gross national product. We're talking about 1 to 2%, or sometimes more in some countries, of the gross national product of a country goes down the drain due to road accidents. So they're both very, very serious figures.
So aside from the human tragedy of what's happening, we have a massive impact.
There's a cost to the human, there's the lost output of a person who's just died. Again, he's not going to contribute to society anymore. There's the loss to his family, there's the cost to the government of actually getting there or fixing up the roads. There's the cost of the vehicles that have been damaged, there's the cost of health services that are going to treat the injured. So there's all kinds of costs involved, and overall, looking at this cost to society, this is the figure they come up with.
I'm truly shocked. Were you aware of that, Thomas? I wasn't aware of that. That's incredible. So moving on. Can we move on from tailgating now, Thomas?
Yeah, we can move on now.
Okay. I feel like I should let Thomas run this session. So, okay, Thomas, where do we take it next? We're talking about road safety. We're talking about how we can look after ourselves and look after our families on the road.
That's a good one. Let's just stop there for 1 second. Because there was a very, very interesting article in all the media just a couple of days ago, because our friends from police, actually Abu Dhabi police, they issued very interesting findings. And this is something, a question for you guys again. Accidents happen around the world, right? In every country. But what is the single most important device? What is the single most important device that helps us, that saves us in the case of an accident, that saves us from injury and from death? What is that device?
I'm going to go over here.
Seatbelt. Oh, this was very difficult, is it? This is the thing that's dangling there and just do this one here, right? Yeah? Absolutely, 100% correct. Now, the question is the following, and you might have read it. It was in Gulf News, in Khaleej Times, in the International. In Abu Dhabi, in the first 9 months of this year, all the people who died on the road in road traffic accidents, what is the percentage of those people not wearing seatbelts?
So what percentage of people who died in road traffic accidents in Abu Dhabi were not wearing seatbelts?
This year, yeah, 2017, the first 9 months.
I think it's around 90%.
90% he says.
So it's lower than that.
Any other takers? What have we got? Any other
front.
How many people? How many people died not wearing seatbelts?
I guess 70%.
It's a little bit lower than that.
Okay. Anyone else would have a guess? 50?
It's actually 60%. And this is just really amazing. I mean, it's 2017. I mean, it's the seatbelt. Of course, it's the seatbelt. So it's 2017.
Yeah, but Thomas, the thing is, like, I've got a modern car. It's got modern brakes. It's got an airbag. That'll save me. It's got, auto braking. It'll look after me. What do I need a seatbelt for?
To save your life. It's as simple as that. Because these accidents did happen in contemporary cars. Abu Dhabi, 2017, 60% of people killed on the road simply wear seatbelt.
Can I add? Again, many people don't realize that the seatbelt is actually only one small part of the whole system. You're all, the chassis of the car, the body, your seat, the way your body, your body responds to deceleration is all been tuned and been put together to save you in case of a crash. The airbag itself, and the airbag doesn't do its job if you're not wearing a seatbelt, if you're not wearing it properly. Because some people don't adjust the headrest. If you're not adjusting the headrest properly, then that could affect you as well. So it's all part of the whole system. So your seat needs to be properly adjusted, your headrest needs to be correctly adjusted, and your seatbelt needs to be on. For all this to save your life.
And it's fair to say that the seatbelt is the most important part of that entire combination of systems there. So once again, anybody passing, we're talking about road safety. We're talking about how to keep yourself and your family safe on the roads of the UAE and indeed anywhere else. The title above me is How to Be a Better Tailgater, but really it's about how to be a better driver, and we have two incredible experts giving us advice. We also have a prize or two. So there's a bit of a competition going on here. So sit down, you can even win something. Oh, he's holding up something now.
That's the next prize.
Oh, we got another prize now.
Mini branded. Mini cool car, cool brand.
Yeah, it's a very cool brand, yeah.
That's the next prize that's up for grabs.
Yeah. What's the question?
The question is the following. We just talked about seatbelts. Yeah? So what do you think? What is the percentage figure of people sitting in the back of the car, for example, in a Kareem, in an Uber, in a taxi, in the car of a friend? So what is the percentage of people, of adults, always buckling up in the back?
But technically, legally, you are supposed to buckle up in the back, right? Now it's law.
It's the law. 1st of July 2017, it's the law.
And children as well, isn't it? Children need to be in car seats. So,
yes.
Did everybody know that? How many people did not know that you have to buckle? You did not know that? Wow. I need to ask you why you did not know that.
Some from London and we don't have this, so that's why.
In London we do have this. What are you talking about?
We're buckling up, right?
It is law in the UK.
I take the tube, though, so I know it's...
Oh, right, he takes the tube, that's alright. That's okay. Well, stand on, hey, stay here, you might get a prize. So, how many people do not buckle up in the back? Okay, we have a guess over here.
90%.
90%? Do you buckle up in the back? Oh, he does, he's alright, he's only 10%.
It is very, very close.
Okay, another guess over here.
Very, very close.
I think it's 5% people. 5% people don't buckle up.
5% don't buckle up. Okay. No. Thomas is not impressed with that.
I reckon it's about 80 to 85%.
They don't buckle up or they do buckle up?
Don't.
They don't buckle up, okay? It's higher.
95%.
A little bit lower.
95%. Any other takers? What have we got? 93%.
A little bit lower.
Oh. Get out there. You're making me work, Thomas.
92.
A little bit lower.
91. As she uses the glasses and the lens. Look what you've done, Thomas.
Oh la la.
Did she win?
No, a little bit lower.
Well, look what... Sorry about that.
90.5.
No, lower.
88.
A little bit higher, come on guys. 89%. In other words, only 11% of people always buckle up in the back. And it is super scary. Congratulations.
What was your name, sir? Where are you from?
Basically from India.
And how are you doing the show?
Good, nice. 18 years I've been here.
18 years, but not at the show 18 years. In Dubai. Well, if you've been at the show 18 years, you need a rest. Sit down, mate.
The reason, Joseph, the reason why this is so close also to our heart is we're setting the wrong examples for our kids, for example. We see kids roaming around in the cars basically every time they're going out. Yes, the law is in place.
Yeah.
It is going to be enforced by police, so they're starting enforcing it. But as a matter of fact, we have to understand it and we have to lead by example. So if we as adults, if we don't buckle up in the cars, we cannot expect our kids to buckle up.
But also, you know, I mean, a lot of people think that they're safe in the back because of the seat in the front. But what they don't realize or what can happen is that when you have an impact, that passenger in the back can actually impact the seat in the front which then pushes the passenger in the front into the dashboard, and which can cause a fatality. Mustafa, how can we improve safety on the roads, not from the point of view of driving or from the cars, but from the layout of the roads themselves?
Again, we're moving away from tailgating here.
Oh yeah, very much so. Yeah, we've done with tailgating. Yeah.
Yes, there are different types of barriers that are used on fast roads. There are concrete ones that you see, there are steel ones, and each one of them has its advantages and disadvantages. So again, making sure the barrier is suitable for the position, suitable for the location, and just overall looking at roadside objects. We tend to put lots of things on the sides of roads, whether they're adverts, utility poles, trees, anything. And sometimes we don't protect them. So
right.
you need to protect the item itself, and you also need to protect the driver from the item, because people tend to, even if there's 100 kilometers of barrier and then you leave just 50 meters without barrier, someone will come and lose control and hit the place with no barrier. So it's very important that we have a comprehensive approach when it comes to securing the roadsides.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think we can do, Thomas, to improve just the safety of our cities, both for pedestrians and for drivers?
Okay. Have you guys ever been in a traffic jam?
Who's been in a traffic jam? Just about all of us. You're not putting your hand up, you're just being lazy.
Who likes traffic jams? Who hates traffic jams? Now, we are running also research in this area, so we are asking people about the commute time. And why we do that is that there's a lot of misbehavior when we get cornered. If you corner us, it's just human nature that we misbehave. And traffic jams, they bring out the worst in us. So when we are talking about creating infrastructure, we are focusing on those areas where we still see a lot of traffic jams. So we still see a lot of congestion in certain areas of the UAE, and we know from research that people are still not happy there. And we all know the stories that people are commuting between two parts of the UAE, and every time they are getting stuck in traffic, every time they're getting irritated, every time they're getting nervous, every time they're getting anxious. And this unfortunately results in negative behavior and very often in accidents, in injuries and in fatalities. So we are looking at an improvement in terms of road infrastructure, especially where we see a lot of congestion. So this must go away, this must ease, because we want to get rid of the misbehavior that is caused by stress and by cornering people.
So earlier today we had a session on autonomous cars. Mustafa, when we have autonomous cars, won't that just automatically make the road safer?
I think it takes a lot of the uncertainty of the human element out of the road, but again, there's a long transition period. You can't automatically go into autonomous cars. So in that period, I think it's going to be very interesting to watch and see what happens when you put computers along with humans on the roads.
But are we sort of moving to that with a lot of safety systems in cars at the moment? I mean, you're an engineering expert as well, and we've seen the advent of